Thanks to ADT for sponsoring this video.
I wanted to drink my champagne out of this shape of glass because it makes me feel like I'm on the Titanic.
You want to feel like you're on the Titanic?
Yep. I mean, I'm gonna get off.
Okay. Now it makes sense why China wanted to start dating me.
Because it makes me feel like I'm on the Titanic.
But I was gonna have to clean up my act because otherwise...
I mean, I'm gonna get off.
As an example of my depraved life, the first time China visited my apartment...
The floor in the kitchen was very audibly sticky when you would step on it.
Audibly. To be fair, I just had a party.
At least a week prior to me being there.
Since my single life, our home life has gotten much better for a couple reasons. One,
I think you've taught me how to care about where I live more.
And two, the 5 questions I ask. Hey, that's what this video's about. First question, if the house burned down, what would I miss? And if I were being truly honest, I really don't think I'd miss that much. But one priority becomes very clear. And I learned this several years ago, but not with the house.
Tell them about my car.
Actually, sort of loved that car. It started almost every time. The door broke and it wouldn't stay closed. There were times that I drove home from work holding the door closed with my hand. This is so dangerous. What a stupid thing we did. We took bungee cords, wrapped them around the door, wrapped them around the headrest. You're driving down the road and it's you had to climb over and go out the passenger side. Didn't have airbags. We were so dumb.
Well, I figured it was time to buy a new car since other
trap.
people were using the car. You.
Yeah.
I figured it should be safe.
The safety of those I love is absolutely crucial. And answering this question is what led me to want to have a home security system. And now I want to tell you about our sponsor, ADT, which is the #1 home security provider in the US, and they have eliminated so much stress from our home.
Now, especially because our daughter is around, I want to know if anyone tries to come in our home, if anyone is sneaking around outside.
ADT has a fundamental belief that everyone has a right to feel safe. The professional installers made sure everything was installed correctly the first time, and they were very accommodating. I tried to reciprocate by offering them a beer. They weren't allowed, but I had a beer. They installed outside cameras, motion and glass break detectors, and door sensors that all let us know if there's an intruder on our super convenient ADT control app, so we can check in wherever we go. We can check in
remotely and just check the cameras, see if a package has been delivered.
I can put on a little dance show for you from all different angles.
Yeah, I've really
onto your
enjoyed
phone.
that. Enjoyed. I like that we can set up accounts for your parents so that they can get in and out.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea. We'll hear more about my parents later in the video. But one of the greatest pieces of mind that ADT provides...
They installed smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. If one of those is triggered, they quickly send fire department, police, versus needing to find our phone and dial 911 ourselves.
And that's 24/7 monitoring and customer support. No outsourcing and no monitoring interruptions. And they provided a touchscreen panel and a key fob so I can use my pointy fingers to arm and disarm. And smart lights. It's connected to our Christmas tree. Click to learn more about ADT's smart home products in the doobly-doo down there. So thinking about my house burning down helps me realize what really matters. The people around me. But that doesn't mean that when the house is intact, I don't care about the stuff in it. And to care about that stuff more, what if this were the final place that I lived?
I didn't care about where I lived that much because I always thought of it as temporary.
WheezyWaiter! Which is why I didn't care about sticky floors, cars that started most of the time, or...
Tell them about my mattress.
Oh my God. The first WheezyWaiter apartment. What a hunk of garbage. You can feel every single spring. I convinced you it's time for a big boy bed. And then they came to deliver it and take away the old one. And that's when I realized that you put it upside down.
Like that.
Like that.
Springs were poking.
And you didn't notice because your mattress was very uncomfortable to begin with. I don't know if I'll ever forgive you.
Well, you married me.
Yeah, so that I can get my revenge.
She's probably kidding. So, my life was a bit of a garbage town. But, to be fair to me, it wasn't that bad. Right, Mom and Dad?
Wasn't that bad, he says.
What a beauty.
Dolt.
Imbecile.
Philistine.
Unscholarly clod.
I
blame his upbringing.
You leave us out of this.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Be slubbering canker blossom.
Somebody's been reading Shakespeare.
So, maybe I should probably have taken better care of myself. I have another excuse.
I just didn't focus on my living space. It was more about what I was making and my goals.
My future glory. But what's the problem? Isn't it good to be goal-oriented? Well, to answer that question, we must turn to the preeminent philosopher of our time, Matthew McConaughey, and a really good motivational speech I came across from him on YouTube. Basically what he says is that happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. Basically, if you hold your happiness hostage until you get what you're hoping for, you're going to be unhappy most of the time. He then went on to say that once he started focusing on everyday enjoyment and ignoring results, he did become more happy most of the time, and it led to his most successful era of his life. And then he took his shirt off, but that's just... So by asking, what if this is my final home, I can shift my focus away from my future goals of world domination, immortality, and becoming the all-seeing, all-knowing space baby at the center of the universe, which I will achieve eventually, to the things that are right in front of me. Simple things, like a mattress on the correct side, a car with a working door, proper clothing for the climate.
Tell them about my boots.
Oh my God. What boots? You lived in Chicago, walked around all winter in sneakers, and you would be like, God, I hate the winter, I hate the cold, it's so miserable outside, blah, blah, blah. I convinced you to buy a pair of boots. You just couldn't stop raving about them. Because they
changed
were
my life.
so warm and so comfortable, and my feet weren't wet, and I didn't lose toes.
I didn't lose any more toes. I lost like
15?
16 toes.
Now that my priorities and all my toes are in the right place, question 3. How can I make this experience better? This question will just help you think of the simple, ongoing day-to-day things that you may be forgetting, like decoration.
I do like to have a couple things on the walls and then like plants. I love seeing something green and alive.
Because I'm kind of dead weight, you know.
It gives me a sense of satisfaction when one of the plants starts sprouting a new leaf. Hey, I'm taking care of you. And it's working.
For me, having meaningful stuff around is comforting and inspiring. Like this block that reminds me to not forget to be awesome. Picture of me with the rest of my bandmates in Driftless Pony Club, looking dapper. This beard pillow and this beard mug given to me by fellow beard lovers. And this majestic eagle that helps me de-stress when I punch it! And other stuff besides decoration you can do. Music! Believe it or not, music makes things better. Watch my face. Now watch my face with music. Wasn't that a pleasant experience? And it doesn't have to be music. What about a podcast? Welcome to another episode of Burgers and Movies, where we talk about movies while eating burgers. But you can also play it to make other things more pleasant, like the dirty elephant in the room, cleaning.
The messier things get, mentally, I just start to unravel. I don't know, everything just seems like a bigger deal. Try to make sure that like countertops and tabletops are clear, and try not to have too much stuff on the floor.
So if you tidy, you can clean. And if you clean, you can dream.
But how do you tidy? Well, what can I get done in 15 minutes?
You can accomplish so much in 15 minutes.
Most of the time, that just snowballs into just doing a lot more.
Much like when you finally decide to click on one of my videos, even though you know you're gonna hate it. Once you're in the middle, it's not so bad, and you might click like and subscribe. 15-minute rule is truly a life changer. You should give it a try for at least 5 minutes. And the final question, how are my neighbors doing? As a self-centered jerkface, who is also not very clean, this has historically not been something I'm good at. Luckily, I found someone who's naturally gifted at it. Our neighbor. You're much taller than I am.
I get that sometimes.
Should I tilt the camera?
Yes, that's perfect.
Wait, I can raise my seat. There we go.
This is my neighbor, Sam.
Hi.
How to be a good neighbor. Step 1.
He's teaching me how to make beer.
It's going to be delicious.
Step 2. When we first moved in, you brought us a pie.
Tried to.
Why did you bring us a pie?
Because you're neighbors, you have a daughter that's approximately the same age as mine. Goodness me, I'd like to get to know y'all better.
Step 3.
Trying to keep it uncluttered when people come over.
Step 4.
Having silly traditions. Just
You have a Christmas party coming up. They're not invited though.
I don't probably have room for everybody out there, but you know.
Yeah, actually, this video will probably come out after the party.
So then everybody's invited.
Step 5.
What are you good at? Can you bring them a drawing? Can you bring them a small sculpture that you've done? Can you help with yard work? Figure out what's something that you can add to the neighborhood to make it a better place.
Why do you want to be a good neighbor?
I get my energy from seeing other people happy and seeing other people doing well. That's how I really like to interact with the world. Interact with the world.
What did you say? Act with the world?
I don't know. It was a while
I think
ago.
you were fine. It was
a
a while ago.
It was a while ago.
I've lived in several places and almost never get to know my neighbors. Mm-hmm. But you're teaching me a better way, and I want to thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
And we have the same hairline too, which is nice.
A couple of them.
Yeah. To recap the 5 questions, if your house burns down, what do you miss? What if this is your final home? What can you get done in 15 minutes? How do you make it better? How are my neighbors doing? We could add a bonus 6th question. What would Matthew McConaughey do? I try to regularly ask myself all these questions, and I find that I'm a bit happier and more of a decent human who sometimes takes his shirt off. Thank you for watching. My previous video, I did a bunch of sleep positions to try to fix my insomnia. YouTube thinks you'll like this video. I have a Patreon where I upload a daily vlog every single weekday, monthly punch myself in the face, monthly live stream, and I upload scripts and notes and bloopers and other stuff. Click here to subscribe to be notified of my next video, which will be a recap, catch up on all of the challenges that I've done the past year and a half. A lot of you have been asking for those. Well, I'm gonna be a lot of you answering those. Thanks to ADT for sponsoring this video.